ChatGPT remembers your name now. It knows where you work. It knows you hate cilantro. And you never told it any of that. At least not in this conversation. OpenAI quietly turned on a feature called memory. It's been watching your chats, building a profile of you, one that follows you from conversation to conversation. But here's the thing. Most people don't even know it's there. To understand why this happened, you need to know what ChatGPT used to be. Every conversation started fresh, completely blank. You'd explain your job, your preferences, your context, and then the next day you'd do it all over again. It was like talking to someone with amnesia. Useful amnesia, sure, but still amnesia. Users complained. They wanted ChatGPT to just know them. So OpenAI listened. They built memory, a system that saves facts about you between conversations. Not your actual chats, just the conclusions it draws from them. But that distinction matters less than you might think. Here's how memory actually works. Every time you chat with ChatGPT, it's quietly listening for facts about you. Your name, your job, your preferences, your goals. It writes these down in a separate file. Think of it like a sticky note it keeps next to your account. When you start a new conversation, ChatGPT reads that sticky note first, before you say anything. So when you ask, "Help me write an email," it already knows you prefer casual tone. It already knows you work in sales. It's not magic, it's just notes. But those notes add up fast. Now here's where it gets interesting. You can actually see what ChatGPT remembers about you. Go to Settings, then Personalization, then Memory. There's a list. Every fact, every preference, every little detail it picked up. Some people check this and find dozens of entries. Things they mentioned once, months ago. Things they forgot they ever said. It's a mirror. And sometimes that mirror is uncomfortably accurate. The good news? You can delete any of these, one by one or all at once. You're in control, at least technically. Let's talk about what memory is actually good for. Say you're a freelance writer. You tell ChatGPT once that you write in AP style, that your clients are mostly tech companies, that you prefer shorter paragraphs. From then on, every writing request comes back tailored. No more explaining yourself. Or say you're learning Spanish. ChatGPT remembers your intermediate level, that you struggle with subjunctive, that you're preparing for a trip to Barcelona. It adjusts automatically. This is genuinely useful. It saves time. It makes the tool feel less robotic. But convenience always has a cost. Here's the cost. Everything in memory is stored on OpenAI's servers. That means your preferences, your work details, your personal quirks. They're not just on your device. They're in a data center somewhere. OpenAI says this data is used to improve their models. That's standard tech company language for, "We might train on this." Now, they also say you can opt out. And you can. But most people don't read settings pages. They just start chatting. And that's kind of the point. The bigger question is what this means for how we use AI. When ChatGPT remembers you, it becomes more like an assistant than a tool. You stop treating it as a blank search box. You start treating it as someone who knows you. That changes how you talk to it. You share more, you explain less, you trust more. And trust is a funny thing. Once you start trusting a tool, you stop double-checking it. You stop questioning whether the answer is right. That's not a flaw in memory. That's just human nature. There's also the accuracy problem. ChatGPT doesn't always get things right. We know this. AI hallucination, that's when AI makes up information that sounds completely real, happens all the time. Now imagine that happening with memory. ChatGPT might remember something wrong. It might think you said you're a vegetarian when you actually said your sister is. And now every restaurant recommendation comes without meat options. The system doesn't know the difference between what you said and what it thinks you meant. That's a subtle but important gap. This isn't just an OpenAI thing, by the way. Google is building the same features into Gemini. Anthropic is exploring it with Claude. Microsoft has it in Copilot. Every major AI company is racing to make their assistant know you better. Because that's the competitive advantage now. It's not just who has the smartest model. It's who has the most context about you. Your data is the moat, and they're all building it, one conversation at a time. So what should you actually do about this? First, check your memory settings. Just look, see what's there. You might be surprised. Second, decide what you're comfortable sharing. If you use ChatGPT for work, maybe keep personal stuff out, or vice versa. Third, and this is the important one, remember that you're not just using a tool anymore. You're training a profile. Every question teaches it something. Every preference gets recorded. That's not necessarily bad, but it's worth knowing. Now here's the honest catch. Memory isn't surveillance. It's not reading your emails. It's not tracking your location. It's only remembering what you tell it directly. That's an important distinction. And for many people, the trade-off is worth it. A more helpful assistant in exchange for some stored preferences? That's a deal lots of people will take. The concern isn't that memory exists. The concern is that most people don't know it does. Informed consent matters. And right now, that consent is buried in a settings page most users will never find. So here's what this actually means for your daily life. ChatGPT isn't just a chatbot anymore. It's becoming a personalized assistant that learns from every conversation you have with it. That can be genuinely useful, or genuinely uncomfortable depending on how much you like being known. The feature exists. It's on by default. And now you know about it. You can turn it off. You can edit what it remembers. You can use it strategically. Or you can ignore it entirely and let the profile build. The choice is yours. But now it's an actual choice, not something happening in the background while you weren't looking. That's the difference between being a user and being informed.